welcome back. This is Coach Prebish here again with Getting the Edge. This is episode 4, but this is our third part. Today we're going to discuss things that you need to do at the competition, during the competition, to maximize your potential on the mat. And it all starts with right after weigh-ins, with the food that you eat and the types of things that you drink to stay hydrated. So we need to make sure that we're eating the right foods and that we're staying hydrated with the right stuff. Having the right fuel in your body is essential for wrestling at your peak. Staying away from junk food, soda, and foods that upset your stomach. Everyone's a little different with their post-weigh-in meal. I know a lot of wrestlers like to eat pancakes and drink Gatorade, but if I drank Gatorade at full strength and ate pancakes, I would feel miserable. Those pancakes are just going to kind of sit in my stomach and just make me feel uncomfortable. In terms of what I'm going to eat, pancakes, like I said, not going to do it. I'll probably eat a bagel with some peanut butter on it, or make like a turkey sandwich, something light that is not going to make me feel like I'm slow and sluggish and just feel miserable. I don't want to eat to stuff myself. I don't want to pound 32 ounces of fluid in 5 seconds, because again, you're going to feel miserable. Some of us might get sick and throw up or have it come out the other end. I know that's been an issue in the past. So we need to be smart right after weigh-ins. A guy named Dennis Hall, who was an Olympic medalist, world champion in Greco-Roman, and a fantastic coach, has a concept that he shared in USA Wrestler magazine. It's called sip and nibble. And essentially what you're doing after you weigh in with that post weigh-in meal is sipping on whatever you're drinking and nibble on whatever you're eating. That way it's a slower process. You're not trying to rush everything, and you're allowing your body to process that food without just having it dumped in your stomach and then 20 minutes later having to go warm up. So be smart, especially after weigh-ins. Fight that urge to try and chug a lot of water or Gatorade. And throughout the day, we want to make sure that our food choices are quality. Lean meat like turkey, even ham to an extent, okay, it's a little bit salty. Light carbohydrates, bread and bagels, fruit, protein bars. There's no reason that you need to be eating tons of pizza and junk food, or go to get a big burger because you made the finals. Again, that's just going to slow you down. Soda doesn't do your body any good. And we do need to stay fueled and hydrated all day. Even if it's a 2-day tournament, we shouldn't be even thinking about our weight until our very last match of the first day. So stay off the scale during the day. Don't panic about eating and drinking, during that first day of the tournament, because you need to stay hydrated and you need to stay fueled up in order to compete at your best. And if you're training hard and smart, you're also eating smart and eating right. So the weight cut isn't a big deal. You're staying hydrated all week. You're not starving yourself. And what we used to do back in the day is, on a 2-day tournament, really, we wouldn't eat much after we weighed in, and we wouldn't really drink a lot of fluids after we weighed in. And that just meant that last match of the first day felt miserable, and it was a struggle to get through. So we want to get away from that. So make sure that you're staying hydrated. Okay, if you've stayed hydrated all week, you're going to be sweating 3 or 4 pounds off during a match, and your weight's going to manage itself. So after you've weighed in, you're kind of relaxing before the warm-ups. Your coach probably is giving you a specific time to warm up, and you need to be warming up when that time starts. Not putting your shoes on, not kind of walking out to the mat and taking that first lap of a jog, but walking. When warm-up starts at 8:45, you are warming up at 8:45. You and your partner are moving at a decent pace, and you're getting things going, all right? And if you notice that your first match of every tournament is just miserable and you wrestle horrible, it's probably because, one, you're not eating the right things after weigh-ins and you're drinking way too much in a short period of time, and two, your warm-up is garbage. that you're going slow in your drill, and because you don't feel good, you don't want to go hard. You have to shake that out of your system. I call it, your warm up needs to shake the weigh in and travel out of the wrestler. If you do that and have a quality warm up, you're going to feel a lot better during that first match. And coaches, have their own way of doing warm-ups. Some are in the middle of it, engaged with their wrestlers. Some are standing there kind of barking out instructions, while others just like, we'll just let the team warm up. The team that warms up on their own probably does not have the best warm-up, okay? We've found at St. Christopher's that the coaches kind of need to be in the middle of it, getting the wrestlers motivated to get a hard, intense warm up, and I'm out there warming up. All the coaches are in sweats, and we're generally warming somebody up. So we're not only are we running the warm up, but we're also helping somebody else warm up. Okay. So your warm up needs to include, an active beginning period, tumbling, jogging, things to get your heart rate up. And it really shouldn't differ much from what you do at the beginning of practice, to be honest. So we need to make sure that we're getting our heart rate up first, help us break a sweat before we get into a focused hard drill. Not an open drill where you do the pretty takedowns, half speed, let the guy belly down and just kind of cut him. No, it needs to be a focused hard drill on every aspect of your technique. You get head outside, single leg, your head inside single leg, your double legs, your ducks, your drags, every takedown that you do into some sort of finish that turns into near fall points or a tilt or a ride. So it's got to, just like what we were talking about in the last episode about drilling hard, it's got to be that same kind of concept. Once we get the takedown and the near fall points, our partner gets to their belly, back up to their base, and escapes, and then they go. Okay. So you're drilling at a very hard pace, and you do need to get some live reps in. Maybe 1 minute goes as hard as you can, and after that, maybe doing some sprints to really get that heart rate jacked up and up. Then you do a stretch. At the end of your warm up is when you should be stretching out, letting your body calm back down, getting the heart rate back down. But you should be sweating and breathing hard at the end of that warm up. If you're not, your warm up really wasn't good. And really, ideally, the good warm up will lead to feeling good about yourself psychologically and much more positive and ready to go for the day. Instead of, we had another bad warm-up. First match is going to be dicey because the warm-up sucked. If that's the case, you need to change it, and you need to force yourself to have a hard warm-up. A mistake that a lot of wrestlers make during the day at a tournament is that they're active. They're on their feet, roaming around, wandering around, socializing, goofing around. What you need to do in a big tournament situation is get off your feet and relax until it's almost time to compete, okay? Relaxing your body and your mind in a spot that your team has found together, away from your parents, away from the wrestling fans, okay? You can watch and support your teammates. That's great. But when you're not doing that, you're off your feet. We're not hanging out with our parents, okay? That can cause distractions, especially if your parent is one of your sources of anxiety. We try to find spots where we can kind of, put our bags down on the floor and literally get off of our feet. So we're not sitting in the bleachers, and just kind of relaxing, listening to music and enjoying the competition. Okay. If you're the person that gets up an hour before they wrestles to warm up, you're just wasting energy. Okay. That means your anxieties are getting the best of you, and you're trying to control those anxieties with warming up. You don't need to do that. You're just wasting a ton of energy. Get off of your feet and kind of relax. Go through the different things that we did in a prior episode, working on our breathing, slowing our breathing down, getting our mantra going. You can go through a progressive relaxation session, instead of just jumping up and warming up way too early. All right. So just relax. when is it time for you to get ready for your match? Obviously in a dual meet, probably 2 or 3 matches before you wrestle, you need to be up and moving. Okay. But in a tournament, it's kind of hard to gauge because the action goes so differently, especially if they're using flow wrestling or track wrestling or flow arena to manage their tournament. You could come up pretty quick. Okay. So for a smaller tournament at a local high school, maybe 1 or 2 weight classes before yours comes up, you need to get up on your feet, get your heart rate up again. If you're in a much bigger tournament, 1 weight class, like, again, Beast of the East, there are 100 kids in a weight class. Maybe at the end of the weight class before yours, you should get up and start moving. And it's not just kind of shake the arms out, shake the head out, shake the legs out. No, jogging around, find a place to get an active warm up again. Shadow drill, shadow wrestle, jog, don't stand around. Try to get a sweat going before you get out on the mat. If you are bone dry when you're out on getting ready to take the mat, your body is not warmed up. It's going to take a period and a half for your body to warm up. And who knows, by that point, it might be way too late in the match for you to get yourself going. Mental prep, okay? Focus on the positive. What's your game plan for this match? Use positive self-talk, music, your mantra, especially, well, I'll talk about pre-match anxiety in a second. You will wrestle so much better if you're mentally prepared and relaxed, okay? It may be hard to do, especially if you're on the backside of a tournament. But remember, focusing on right here, right now. Be in the moment, not the past, not the future. Be here right now, and in this very moment, what are you doing to get yourself ready? What do you need to do right off the whistle to make things go your way? If you have pre-match anxiety, you're starting to get really, really nervous, and you can feel those negative thoughts creeping into your brain, what do? Okay, number one, don't panic. It's normal. It happens to everybody, okay? Remember the things that we talked about in episode 2 about mental prep, okay? Focus on deep breathing. I find that getting myself to relax involves deep breathing, slowing my heart rate down, using whatever positive self-talk you have, your mantra. For me, it's relax or it's okay. Whatever your mantra is that gets you to calm down, do that. But involve some deep breathing and positive self-talk to slow that down and eliminate those negative thoughts. Also, as you're warming up and shadow wrestling, visualize your success for the match, from that opening whistle. As you're shadow drilling, maybe you're shadow wrestling your setup, your foot fake to your shot and to your finish. So you're starting to visualize that, putting it all together. But we need to make sure that we short circuit that anxiety so it does not become a problem during the match. So we've done that. We've warmed up correctly. We get called to a mat, so we walk over, have your singlet straps up, your headgear on before you step out on the mat. Go talk to your coach. I know with different wrestlers, I will give them different little last second things like, hey, go have fun, or like, hey, good job today. And whatever that trigger word is, you need to make sure that you get those trigger words from your coach, because they want you to be successful. They don't want you to be nervous and freak out. So make sure that you stop in the corner and get those last little instructions, even if it's just a smile and a pat on the back of the head, whatever it is, and go have fun. Remember that this is supposed to be fun. After the match, we don't just go sit down and it's over and done with. You're probably going to have things running through your mind. And we also need to cool our body down. We don't just completely shut down, sit down. All right. Your body's not going to, feel good doing. So find an open area, cool down with some sprints, some shadow wrestling, rope jumping, whatever, but get that last little burst of intensity to cool your body down. Okay. As you're cooling down your body, we also need to cool down our mind. Talk to your coaches about the match. the wrestler needs to take the lead on that. Like, hey, what did you think about my stand up in the second period? You know, or if it was, if your coach starts asking you questions, you know, take the lead and direct the conversation. Okay, focus on the technique aspect of it. So you can figure out what you did really well, what you need to work on, and where to go after that. All right. That's going to help cool down your mind and kind of focus you for your next match if there is a next match. If you've lost the match, you take 5 or 10 minutes by yourself, and then it's done. It's over with. Okay. After that 5 or 10 minutes for you to be upset about losing the match, it's time to refocus. Okay. Don't continue to dwell on that previous match. It's over. Time to prepare for your next match. All right. So it's very, very important to have a short-term memory with wins and losses, really. You know, you have to focus on the here and now. We can't really dwell on what just happened. All right. Try not to make those same mistakes and then forge ahead. If you do that, you're going to start to feel a lot more relaxed, a lot more energetic when you get ready to wrestle. You're not going to have as many anxiety issues as you normally would if you would just kind of do your old thing. So take these into consideration and maybe integrate them into what you do at tournaments. All right, because it will help you. Okay, it will definitely, you will see a difference in the way that you wrestle and the way that you feel. Okay, from here, we're going to talk about what we do after a competition psychologically and a little bit of physical to see where we need to go from here. So stay tuned for that.